Okay. So hello, beloved family of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Judith Roberts, and I will be your host tonight. I welcome you to our midweek Oasis Wednesday night service. As you will be able to experience tonight, our Wednesday night Oasis is a place where we come together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sundays. And in these services, we express our science of mind principles and practices with the intention that these gatherings be fun, intimate, and interactive. Our annual theme for 2024 is a grand rising. Our monthly theme for November is abundant. So typically our Wednesday night services follow on the heels of the talk that was given on the last Sunday. But tonight is going to be a little different. Our speaker tonight, Christopher Brown, is going to speak on a different topic, a self-chosen topic. And his topic is Don't Fight Reality. And this comes on the heels of the election. As we gather tonight, I really want to welcome you. If you are new to our community or watching our recording, please visit our homepage at www.oaklandcsl.org and click on I'm New icon and look at the lower left-hand corner of that page to submit your email address. Once you do, you'll begin receiving the village newsletter. Once a week in your email. It has all the information on what's happening at the center and in the coming weeks. Before we get started with the talk, please mute your own audio and microphone. Just during tonight's service, you can leave your camera on. When you mute your audio microphone, it'll improve the quality of our recording and tonight's transmission. Please stay tuned through the end of the service to receive special and important announcements. So I'd like to introduce our speaker, Christopher Brown. Christopher is a practitioner with the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And Christopher knows that we are all independent researchers trying to figure out the mysteries of life. His research has taught him to reject any wisdom that does not know how to cry, any philosophy that does not know laughter, and any greatness that is not humbled by the joy of children. So the best that we can do is to hold each other's hand as we walk through the mystery of life together. And Christopher is known by some as a dismantler of illusion. So Christopher, thank you in advance for being our speaker tonight. I'm looking forward to your talk. As we do with every organized event at the center, we open with prayer. Christopher, will you be doing the honors this evening?
No, I think we're going to turn it over to Alice Kay.
Okay. Alice, would you like to open us in prayer?
I would love to. Okay, everybody, let's go within. Just taking that deep breath, that breath of life. Coming home to love, coming home to light. Oh, how good it is. For spirit is all love, all light, all goodness. And there is only one life, and it is that perfect life, perfect, whole, and complete. That life is spirit, and that life is our life right here and right now. And just recognizing this beauty, this love, this power of love. How good it is. God is good and good is God. And so I bless this time together, knowing that each one of us, as individual scintillating lights of love, are here, and our time together is blessed. Everything is happening in divine right order for all of us. This sacred community that we live and breathe together and share together with one another is so blessed tonight by this one life. And I take this moment to bless Christopher as he delights us with his surprises tonight. All of our hearts are open and we're receiving everything that we need to hear. There is a calm and a peace and a goodness just washing over each one of us tonight as we share this space. And how good it is. And so please join me in saying, and so it is.
So it
And
is.
so
As
it is.
Oh,
And so now we turn over the evening to Christopher.
thank you, Judith, and thank you, Alice. That was lovely. I could feel that. So, good evening. And 1 week ago, we knew the outcome. We know the outcome yeah. Whew, what can I say? When I heard the news, I realized that half the country had rejected values that I hold dear, values that I hold close to my heart, values of inclusion, of love, values of kindness. And the people, half the country really chose to go a different direction. And I found that disturbing. And I found that I'm probably the only one very disappointed in the outcome. And the idea of, is it the outcome or is it my relationship to the outcome? And it's always the relationship to reality is where I have the problem. Because I thought it was going to go a different way. I thought we were going to have a kinder, more gentle society. And just the opposite is unfolding. And either I'm going to suffer with that outcome and I'm going to fight it and fight it and fight it, or I can accept it and figure out what's next to do, but not from a fighting mentality, but more of an inclusion mentality. Werner Erhard talks about this. He said, happiness is a function of accepting what is. It's a function, peace is a function of accepting what is. And if I can't accept what is, I'm going to have my sword in my hand and I'm going to be wielding it around, using a lot of energy, fighting this. And if you think about acceptance, acceptance is really letting go of the idea that it was going to be different, or it should have been different. Letting go of the idea that my outcome didn't happen. It should have happened, but it didn't happen. And we all know that we are going to eventually have to accept the reality that's going on. And it depends upon how long is it going to take us to reach acceptance. How long do you want to wield the sword? How long do you want to fight against reality? That's not to say that you don't do something about your circumstances. Of course you do. But to fight against what actually has happened, it's already happened. That horse is out of the barn. Don't look for the horse in the barn. So good old Ram Dass talks about, he's saying, the most successful people in life are those that can reach acceptance and peace the quickest. They're not holding on to grievances. They're not holding on to resentments. There's a level of forgiveness and moving on, which is so, so important. And so we have this election, and it's ours to actually accept it and then to move on. What is the next step? What's the most next obvious step? And that will be revealed. Why do I know that? Because it always has. It always has been revealed. We may not like what's revealed next, but it will be revealed what our next step is. So it kind of gets back to that old story. Which dog are we feeding? Are we feeding the dog of goodness, or are we feeding the dog of confusion, the dog of violence, the dog of hate? Which dog are we feeding? Because we know if we feed the dog of goodness, of kindness, that dog grows stronger. But if we feed the dog of resentment, if we feed the dog of confusion, of hatred, of demonization, if we feed that dog, it becomes more powerful. And the more powerful it gets, it will eat the food of the good dog, and the good dog starts to wither. And so, watching the thoughts, as we do in Science of Mind, where are we placing our thoughts? Where are we placing it? Are we placing it on, and what news are we feeding ourselves? Are we feeding news of upliftment? Are we feeding ourselves news of division? And this constant flow of news articles. I mean, it's nice to stay informed, but enough's enough. Okay. So moving on to my friend John. John has this antique Austin Healey that's falling. It's not falling apart, but it needs maintenance. It's a 1960s car. So he's got his head deep into the hood. His feet are off the ground. He's way down inside the hood there, with his arm almost reaching the floor, trying to get a bolt up underneath, which you can't see. And his expectations are, oh, this is an easy thing. I'll just put the bolt on, and the bolt's not going in. And it's not going in. And again, it's not going in. So he's becoming frustrated. And the more he gets frustrated, the more tight he becomes. And he starts trying to force it. He starts to argue with it. And finally throws the bolt down and jumps back out of the hood and is furious. Just like Yosemite Sam in those cartoons, running around, shooting off his guns, going, rah, 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 rah. Only without the big mustache. So, and then he realizes, what's he doing? He's fighting with a bolt. He's all pissed off at a bolt. He has given that bolt his power, his peace, his tranquility. He just handed it over to the bolt and said, here, you take it, you run with it. And now he feels powerless because he's given his power away. And so he thinks about it. I know none of us have ever done this. So he thinks about it, and he goes into the house, has himself a cup of tea, and starts realizing, what assumptions have I made? What's going on here? I thought the bolt should go in easily. It's not. This is a really tough application. I might have to jack the car up, get underneath the car, maybe get some oil or something to really get this thing going. And so he switched first off, he accepted that he was out of control. The next thing he did is he readjusted his expectations. This bolt's not going to be easy. And when he went back out, he was now peaceful. He had returned to peace. And I'm going to suggest, because he accepted the situation and adjusted to the new situation as he saw it. Well, as it turned out, the bolt went right in. It just poof, went right in. So we're getting ready for some breakout groups here. And shortly, we're going to be broken out into groups of 3. And the topic of the breakout room is we tend to give it, when we're most upset, it's because we've given our power away. That we feel like we're powerless to the situation, that there's nothing we can do to affect it. And when we feel powerless, it's like feeling like we're little children, and we go to a crying mode. And it's part of our whole system, where when we don't get our way, when things don't go the way we want, we get upset. We really get upset. And it goes back to childhood. So the purpose of this exercise, to talk with your other 2 partners, is what happens when we give our power away? What happens when things don't go our way? How do we give our power away? Kind of getting the idea? John was able to pull his power back. He was able to become whole again. And he saw that path forward. So again, the purpose of this exercise is to take a look at what our path is. Can you trace your path when you get upset? How do you lose your cool? Where do you give your power? How do you bring your power back? Kind of getting the idea? So Peter, our master Zoomer, is going to be breaking us out now. We're going to do this for, let's do it for 8 minutes, Peter, if you can do that. It's going to break us out for 8 minutes, and you're going to have the best partners ever in your group. Okie doke, Peter, if you'll break us out, please.
Hold on. Okay. I'm getting people assembled, so.
Oh, goody.
Give me a minute here.
He's getting the perfect partners.
Christopher, what are the questions we're going to be talking about?
Who or what are you giving your power away to? How does that work? It's like when you feel yourself being upset, usually it's because you are out of control or you've lost control with the way things are going. You're fighting with reality, in other words.
Uh-huh.
And when we fight with reality, we tend to feel powerless. We take our sword out and we start to fight. So the idea is to slow it down so we can really see clearly. It's kind of our pattern of doing this. And so you might, in your group, give an example of what's it like when I give my power away or when I lose it, when I give my power away to a bolt or to a person, to a circumstance, to an election. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Okay, ready to go.
Yay.
All righty, have fun.
Mm-hmm. If you'll unmute yourselves and come back and thank your wonderful partners. Thank you, partners.
Thank you, wonderful partners.
So, what was learned? What did you learn about yourself or from the group about how we give away our power? How when we get into upset, how that upset can just take us away, take us out of our peace. Who'd like to say something about that? I think I see Deborah's hand up.
Thank you.
We got you.
Let me just give, in the group, what I described was this morning I had a great example of being upset and angry at myself because I woke up late to go to a planned meeting that generally starts about 7:30, and so I had to wake up early and get myself going, and I woke up late. And so in that process, I did a major scrambling of trying to get out of my house and be on time. And in that rush, not only did I forget my glasses, I also forgot my hat, which it's cold outside. And I think I forgot one other thing, but I was cursing the entire time I was in my car and I was driving. And the one thing I was not doing was driving like a bat out of hell. I really took my time because I knew I could have hurt myself and hurt somebody else. And when I got to the place of where I was supposed to be walking at 7:30 in the morning, I really utilized that space and that time to calm down. Not only did I use that space and time to calm down, it also gave me a reset. And I had an opportunity to breathe through it and reset my day, whereas it allowed me to do something different when I got back in my car. I'm complete.
Thank you. Great example. Great example of acceptance. We can call it reset, but either that or we continue holding on to it. And we know it doesn't feel good to hold on to it. The sword of fighting gets heavy. Who else would like to share? Maybe just unmute yourself and begin speaking. Or I'll call on you. How about Bonnie Gonzalez?
Oh, I thought it disappeared again.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just sharing with the group I've had lately in the last few months, had a lot of opportunity to be in that place of feeling, I don't want to say anger, but feeling that maybe confusion, not understanding a situation. That can get me pretty, if you want to say giving away power, but not that, but trying to understand a situation. Being in awareness of my emotions when I'm with people, just breathing into that. I was telling my group that my thing is to circumvent, not even to get to that place where I'm giving the power away, having an awareness of what's going on within me. If I'm giving power away, it's feeling that I can't control other people, which I can't. So accepting that, the person that's most important that I have control for and over is myself. How I react to a situation. Just like the election, how do I want to react to that, if you want to use that word? And mine was, I've been here before, we'll be here again. I'm up for the challenge. What's mine to do? What's mine to be? What's mine to give? So when I ask myself those questions, that keeps me out of that feeling powerlessness that can lead to giving my power away. And that's a full-time job. If I'm doing that, I don't have too many hours left over for anything else. I'm a handful. So I'll just say that. And just really self-reflecting is what keeps me in that place of being calm within.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's a full-time job, as I said, an ongoing job for me.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking, Kristen.
Oh, sure. Who else would like to share?
Alice?
Yes, Alice.
First of all, Peter, can you make me a co-host? Because my laptop died and now I'm not a co-host.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Thanks. Well, I want to thank you so much for this topic, Christopher. I mean, really, so much. I can't say that enough. I appreciate it. And it was just really nice to talk, and I loved our group. But for me, what I've been given my power to around the election fear and anger.
Mm.
And so I've been doing a lot of praying for myself, for the people that I've villainized and been angry about, towards, and just trying to slow down and breathe. And I was devastated when I found the news, and it felt like I put all my eggs in one basket, and I kind of know better, right? But I'm trying to be the person that I want to be and still create the world that I want, that makes it a world that works for everyone. And those are still things that I feel really powerful about. And I'm just trying to listen for guidance and do the best I can.
Oh,
Some moments are hard and some of them are, well, they're okay. But thank you for the laughter. The laughter really helps because it helps me let go. So I'm complete for now. Thank you, Christopher.
Oh, thank you. You know, I've been told, and I've experienced it also, is that we don't grow very much on our sunny, easy days. It's the tough times that we discover what we're made of. It's the tough times that really, the challenging times, the times when we have to change.
what did you say?
The
Yeah,
ti-
listening to something on, just listen to the,
Hello, who was that?
Oh, was that Bonnie?
It
Oh,
was Bonnie.
okay. Okay, so it's the challenging times that kind of that grow us the most, because they change, they question our story. And I think we need to continue questioning our stories, because it's when reality shows up one way and it's in conflict with our story about the way it should be, that's where the rubber meets the road. And we can't necessarily change reality, but we might be able to change our story or the way we're looking at it. And so my dear friend Isaac, at the Enlightenment Conference, the first thing out of his mouth was, he said, all suffering and drama is the result of not wanting to have the experience that you're having now. Basically, it's fighting with reality. In the moment, he would always break it down to the moment. So when you find that you've lost your power, you're feeling disconnected, you're feeling angry, what happens in the body is that you don't want to feel that feeling, and so you try to change it. And one of the best strategies, and a strategy from a little kid, is to fight it. And so before we do that, I'm going to tell this quick little story about this woman who goes out onto the pond in a little boat to meditate. It's a good sized pond, but it's not like a huge lake or anything. So she's out there quiet, about 15 minutes into her meditation. Things are silent. It's feeling wonderful. And boom, something bangs into her boat. And she wakes up, opens her eyes, looks around, ready to give that boatman a piece of her mind, and realizes, yes, it was a boat that hit her, and it was an empty boat that the wind had blown into her boat. And she talks about when she came up out of meditation, there was this shot of anger and adrenaline, and she felt herself picking up the sword of attack, that she wanted to demonize the other. And when she saw that the boat was empty, there was nobody to fight against. And how easy it was to put the sword down and to laugh at the whole situation. But what stuck with her is when she turned the lens back, is how quickly she had lost her peace, even in the middle of meditation. And it goes to the fact that we have these habits and patterns within us, unless they're explored, unless they're looked at. And the best time to look at it is right in the middle of the activity. And so this next little exercise has to do with what is it, how quickly we can demonize the other. Oh, they're just being stupid. They have no idea. Oh, they're Republicans. Oh, they're Democrats. Oh, they're this or they're that. And we other the other. And so, what the exercise is why is it so easy to demonize the other? Why do we immediately go to blame the other? Like the woman with the boatman. There was no boatman, but she was going to blame the boatman for her upset, for bringing her out of that meditation, for not living up to her expectation as she was going to have a quiet day on the lake. Kind of getting the idea, and that's a lot. Why is it that we demonize the other? Why is it that we fight against reality? But more than that, we tend to demonize the other because it's easy and it feels good. It's helpful. It's their fault. So why is it that we demonize the other? And why do we blame the other? Peter, if you'll make this 6 minutes, we're getting close. You could break us out again.
Okay, 6 minutes. Hold on.
So again, why do we demonize the other? Is it easy to do? Is it a habit? And why do we blame the other for our upset?
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Have
Thank
fun.
you. Get it? Unmute yourself. Thank your wonderful partners. We have time for just a quick share. And I think I'm going to have to call on Costa Rica Alice.
So I was just talking about how I was on a call with an insurance company one time, and I was getting really mad, and I got put on hold, and it was enough to calm me down because I had to wait. And this is, so what was it that you called? How did you describe it?
Reset.
A reset, right? And this is why I love meditation so much, this practice of meditation, because it teaches you to reset. It is definitely a reset button. So we had a really good conversation, and it feels really good to have talked together tonight about this topic. So thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Alice. Well, we're coming towards the end of our time. I'm going to try to wrap this up in about a minute. Acceptance is letting go of the thought that it should have been different. And it's, life is as it is. And we can fight it to our peril, or we can accept it and do what the next step is. Can we become curious? What is it within me that is so reactive? I'll speak for myself. When I hear his voice in the news or hear him speaking, I go bonkers. And I know that about myself. And so I find that I turn the radio off because I don't watch it on television. It's too scary. But I know that part about myself. So I take action so that I stay in peace. And the last thing is when I'm curious, I can take a look at the fact that how I demand life show up a certain way. I want life to show up a certain way. I like it to be sunny days. I like things to be peaceful and harmonious. And sometimes it's not like that. And the more that I fight it, the more upset I get. And I'm the one that's causing my upset. And it's never the other person. It's my story about the other person. And so maybe I need to surrender my demand that life show up the way I want it to, only all the time. And maybe I can accept the fact that there's going to be sunny days and rainy days, and that maybe to embrace the rainy days more than I have been, because maybe that's where my growth lies, is in my rainy days, in my struggle, in my demonizing the other, in my confusion, in my anger. Maybe those qualities I haven't excavated enough. And maybe there's the gold down there that I have missed because I haven't shined the light of my awareness like I could. And so I leave you with that. And I thank you for your time and attention and for your willingness to explore this with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. That was a very, timely and rich conversation. And I really thank you for choosing your own topic this evening, because it's so important right now and so meaningful for all of us. So let's give Christopher a little love here. Thank you. And now we're going to transition into our announcements. Please stay with us, and Peter, can you open with the first slide? After meditation. Next, there we go, loaves and fishes. So this Sunday, November 17th, Reverend Lisa Hamilton will be speaking on loaves and fishes. Meditation starts at 10 a.m., followed by the service at 10:30. And then the next slide, on Wednesday, November 20th, for our midweek oasis, Gabriella Condi will be continuing that topic for a deeper conversation. And meditation, as with every Wednesday, is at 6:30, and the service is at 7 by Zoom. So go to www.oaklandcsl.org and click services for the Zoom link. And now join our 2024 daily community spiritual practice using the Abundance Book, the 40-Day Prosperity Plan by John Randolph Price. Today we are on the 38th day of the program using the 8th affirmation in the book. Follow along daily in the order that the affirmations appear. And now we're going to talk about our pledge drive, support the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living's 2025 annual pledge, Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. Thanks to your ongoing support, Oakland Center for Spiritual Living continues to thrive. It's that special time of year, our 2025 annual pledge season, and our theme is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. Your pledge makes a vital difference, not only in supporting our 2025 budget, but also, can you go back one slide, Peter? Wasn't quite done with that one. Your pledge makes a vital difference, not only in supporting our 2025 budget, but also in allowing each of us to engage in the law of circulation, opening ourselves to greater good as we give. Please join us in nurturing our spiritual home and letting the flow of good continue. To make your pledge, simply visit oaklandcsl.org and select the donate button on the homepage. Thank you. And now we'll go to the next slide. And this is the chair dedication campaign continues. Create your own plate inscription that will go on the back of a chair in our sanctuary or social hall. There are 4 levels to choose from: platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. Each of these with a different level of contribution. You can see here underneath each of these plaques. These are examples that were done by Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman. And so we have lots of options here. If you would like to order a plaque, go to oaklandcsl.org events page to place your order. Thank you. And now the next slide. We're starting an OCSL Buddy Love program. The program is intended to randomly partner people in the community into pairs for the purpose of connection, community bonding, spiritual practice, and support. The pairs establish the frequency of connection, recommended at least weekly, the mode of connection, phone, Zoom, or in person, and what you will do during your time together. Prayer, check-ins, connect on community readings like the Abundance Book, outings, etc. Details are coming soon. And the holiday homemade crafts fair is December 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the social hall. Please support our local brands. Drop by for clothing, jewelry, holiday wreaths, and more. Applications are now being accepted. More details to follow. So you can either be somebody who is selling things at the craft fair, or you can be a shopper. In any way, come and enjoy. Next slide. Our nonprofit partner for November is the Singing Tree Mural Project. The vision of the Unity Through Creativity Foundation is to create a world that is compassionate, connected, and creative. Through collaborative community artwork and storytelling, facilitating shared creative experiences to lay the foundation for success, envision a positive future, and spark innovation. By teaching peace-building skills to youth, adults, and elders, we co-create a shared vision of success in a mural, over 130 to date. Visit unitythroughcreativity.org for more information. And I do want to say go back, Peter. Go back one slide. I want to say that I have seen some of these murals in Ukiah. They're absolutely beautiful. There's few in Oakland, and it's a wonderful project. I recommend going to their website and viewing their murals. It's really a wonderful organization. And now there is still time to nominate your favorite nonprofit for 2025 through our Nonprofit Partners Program, which provides a platform to feature, support, and introduce members to local nonprofit organizations each year. Groups are selected whose values and vision are in alignment with those of the Oakland Center. Applications for the 2025 program have been extended through to December 8th. To learn more and obtain an application, please visit oaklandcsl.org, select About Us, and scroll down to Nonprofit Partners. So there's one nonprofit partner featured each month, and each month we have a person from the nonprofit partner for that month come and speak at OCSL. It's a really wonderful program, and it's been going on for years. Okay, next slide. The Spirit Treasure Bookstore theme for November is Gratitude and Abundance. Visit csl.org to see what's happening within our Centers for Spiritual Living global organization. Please visit our website at oaklandcsl.org and sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Village News. Remember to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates and content you will only find by liking and subscribing to the Oakland Center. Please like us and subscribe to Oakland Center today. And now I would like to highlight our leaders at the Oakland Center and express our thanks and gratitude for all that they do. We have our senior minister, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman, board president Beth Van Arkel, Susan Brecker, who's our facility usage coordinator and practitioner, Steve Carter, who's our operations coordinator, our own Alice Knudsen, Ministry of Prayer coordinator and practitioner, who's also on our AV team and always here on our Wednesday nights, and Del Becker, who is our bookkeeper. I want to thank all of them for so much that they do for our center to keep it running and humming. And the next slide. So with that, and with this feeling of gratitude for all the people who contribute at the Oakland Center. And for this evening, I want to invite you to say with me our gratitude affirmation, our abundance affirmation. So joyously I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive, and so it is. And so it is. And so if you feel inspired to donate or contribute to the Oakland Center, you can go to our website and click on the donate button. And then there are all these different ways that you can donate through Zelle, through texting, through the QR code, in person. If you're there in person, you can offer a check or cash. And you can also, of course, mail a check to the Oakland Center. So whatever you feel inspired to offer, we gratefully accept, knowing that this law of circulation applies, that as we give, we do receive. So thank you very much for anything that you are offering to just support the center. And now I'd also like to thank our team, our AV team tonight. We have so many people that have contributed to this program tonight. First, I want to thank Christopher, our speaker, for a really engaging and thoughtful and timely and rich talk. It was very much appreciated, Christopher. And I want to thank Susan for leading the meditation tonight. And Susan will be closing us out in prayer. And Peter is the man behind the scenes running our PowerPoint and helping us with the breakout rooms. And I want to thank Alice Herndon for spotlighting, and Alice Knutson for the opening prayer and for muting. She does the muting as needed during the Wednesday nights. I want to thank Steve Carter, who is not here tonight, but he's our office administrator who is preparing all of the PowerPoints and things for us in order to have the program. And let's see, I think that's everybody. If I missed you, and of course, everyone who's attending, I want to thank all of you who attended tonight for your time and attention, and for your thoughts that you've shared, and just all of the presence that you have brought to the evening. And now I'd like to invite Susan to close us out in prayer. I mean, sorry, Alice. No, Susan. Sorry, I got mixed up. Susan Urquhart Brown is going to close us out in prayer.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute. So just taking a breath and taking in the magnificence of this coming together today on Wednesday night service, that so many people have brought their heart and their selves to share what's going on with them, to be able to be in community, spiritual community together, in sharing what's on our hearts. And this has been a very heartfelt service tonight. And thank you to Christopher for having us really in a gentle, kind, but important way, having us look at how we are accepting what is happening right now and how it is affecting us in our lives. And so I thank Judith for being our amazing host, and so many others, and especially those of you who have come and shared yourself and your heart this evening. So all is well. I appreciate everyone who has been here, and I know that all is moving in divine right action and divine right timing for the good. Even though sometimes it doesn't look that way, it is. And we are bringing our community and our hearts together to make that happen. And please join me in saying, and so it is.
So it
And
is.
so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much.
Amen.